We were hijacking. Our job, our daily job was hijacking. We were hijacking cars, and we were having people who were buying cars from us, who were telling us, this is the cars that they want for a day, the targets. So we will go there knowing that we need cars like this, and then we bring them to them, and then they pay us immediately.
And how do you get to know what cars to hijack? Do you get orders?
Yes, we get orders. There will be brands or names of the cars that they need for that day. They'll be telling us that, okay, today we need 2 or 3 Ford Rangers or Mercedes-Benz, and then they just give us the number of the quality of the cars that they want, and then for the whole day we know that by this time we have to make sure that those cars are at the buyer.
And what do you get paid for a car?
It depends with the brand. Ford Ranger, they pay us 7,000-8,000 rand per car, and then Mercedes-Benz, it will be 4,000 to 5,000 rand. It doesn't matter what kind of a class it is, as long as it's a Mac. That's our daily target.
Tell me about the gang that you were involved in.
We were 4 in a gang. We were 4. There is one who drives, and then 3. On these 3, it's me and these 2 guys who takes cars. And then we know which people we target, especially ladies. We target ladies at the robot. Sometimes we will follow you from a mall, and then immediately you reach the robot. We target the robot. Immediately it says caution. That's why we drive close to you, and then sometimes we might bump you so that you can come out and think that, okay, it's an accident. You need the attention. That's why we get the attention, and then we get the car from you.
Explain to me how you execute the actual hijacking. So you've got your target, you follow the target, what happens next?
Okay, what we do is, if maybe it's a car that they wanted, we just follow you from wherever we saw the car, and then, like as I said, if we bump you, immediately you come out. We know that since you come from the mall, that means there is a possibility that you might have bank cards. For us, it's an extra income. And then you might have cash with you, or if you don't have cash, you've got cards. We take you with, so that while they are busy taking out the tracker, we will be withdrawing your money.
Let's talk about that. We're finding more and more victims being taken hostage. So you take somebody hostage, there's a reason for that. Explain the reason for me, and what do you do to the victims that you take along?
What we do is, actually we don't harm anyone. We just scare you with guns. We take you, and then we put you somewhere where we think it's more safer for us, and then we force you to give us the PIN number. Most of the ladies, when they see a gun, they panic. So immediately they panic. We tell her straight that if you don't want to die, give us the PIN number. And then we go straight to the ATM. 2 goes to the ATM, and then 2 stays with you. So that we threaten you that if it doesn't withdraw, we tell those ones to pull a trigger. And then that's where we know that obvious, you'll be scared if you're a woman. And then you'll tell us the right PIN numbers. We withdraw, we wait. We withdraw normally around 10, 11, and then we wait with you until the following morning, so that you can withdraw again while they are busy taking out the tracker.
What happens to the vehicles that you hijack? Where does it go to from there?
With my experience, the Ford Rangers and the Mercedes-Benz, they jump the border.
Out of South Africa?
Out of South Africa. There are people who are working with those bosses where we just drop them, and then those ones, they pay them to drive those cars to jump the border.
And the other cars, do they go locally for spare parts maybe?
Yes, especially at the scrapyards.
The scrapyards.
At the scrapyards.
Now, how do you remove the tracking device? We're seeing more and more cases where the tracking device gets removed. How fast or how quick is it to remove a tracking device?
Tracking devices doesn't even take, if I can estimate the last time I saw them taking it out, it doesn't even take 3 minutes when they start taking it out.
And where do you take it out?
Most of the time they use right in the middle of the road, somewhere in a location where everyone is passing. It will be like they're fixing a car. But if you can think normally, if you are okay in your mind, you will see that how can people stuck with the Ford Ranger, a new Ford Ranger? So that's why people can just pass and say, oh, okay, maybe they're stuck, they don't afford that car, they just bought it. While somebody's busy taking out the tracker. He's got something that he can search the tracker with.
When you do a hijacking, are you scared?
We don't do hijacking while we are sober. It's not easy because sometimes you end up doing it to a police officer not being aware.
So when you say you're not sober, what do you do?
We smoke, sometimes we smoke ganja, because I don't take drugs. I prefer ganja and then I take alcohol.
So the ganja makes you quite confident?
I become high and I don't become scared at all.
Did you ever pull the trigger?
No.
Not even warning shot?
No. Because immediately pull a trigger, that's a sign that's where even the police that way just passing, they will get their attention from us. So we don't pull a trigger at all.
What happens if somebody fights back? And have you had people fighting back?
Yes. Most of the people who fights back are people who can see that these people, they don't look like we are harmless. So sometimes, especially men, they do fight back, risking, also knowing that what they are doing is a risk, they can be in danger. So when they fight back, it draws attention of other motor vehicles. We run away. We leave it and then we go and target the other areas.
Do you very often hijack people in the driveways?
Yes. Most of the people that we hijack them on the driveways. Because that's where we can do it quickly, but we also check if it's safe for us to do so. Immediately they enter the gate. While the gate is opening, that's where we rush quickly before it can open wide, because most of them, they can get an access to reverse. We just block them and then we go, they take the car and then it's an easy target for us.
Why did you get involved in hijackings?
This thing, it's a peer pressure. If you want a name in a location, by the time I was growing up, that's where we were having this thing of, to be known, you must have a name. For them to call me Brati, it's a name that I earned. I worked hard for it. They knew that I don't take like any nonsense. If I want something now, I'm gonna get it now. It was not all about being a hero. As I was saying, it was a peer pressure. Sometimes we were doing it for girls, just to get cash and be known that I can buy alcohol as much as I want, and I can buy them anything that they want.
How many cars did you hijack during your spree over how many years? How many cars did you take?
If I can estimate, in a month, we were able to take 30 to 40 cars per month. Per day, they will give us, let me say, an order says 3 Ford Rangers or 2 Mercedes-Benz and maybe an Audi. Somebody want an Audi quickly. We'll get those cars, all of them per day. We can get 5, 6.
And which are the areas you targeted most?
Most of the areas we were targeting in Gauteng. We were targeting Santen. We were targeting 4 ways, like the areas where we know that there are those cars that we want. We make sure that we go there.
So just randomly you drive and you find a car and you follow the car?
Yes. And what we do mostly is, if they told us that they want Ford Rangers, maybe if they said Ford Rangers, we go to a nearest car rental dealers. We check the Ford Rangers number plates, and then we go and buy number plates with those numbers. There is someone who's printing us number plates at that moment.
And any policemen involved with your gang at the time?
There were policemen who were involved that we used to help us, especially to tell us on the radios which side mustn't we go, or the car that we are driving, there is a car that is following us. Since they are having a radio on them, they'll be telling us that if you are this direction, there is a car that they just told us now that it's moving this direction, and make sure that you change the direction or drop the car there and disappear.
And you pay the policeman?
Yes, he knows that if a car like that has been delivered safely, he's got his own portion.
How were you arrested?
We were arrested on the spot. We were trying to hijack this car, and an unmarked police vehicle was following us. We don't know if it was a tip-off or what, but immediately we took the lady out. That's where we were surrounded, and then they arrested us.
Will you do hijackings again?
Not anymore.
Why
That's
not?
not life. Crime doesn't pay.
Why does it not pay?
The years that I served is the years that I was supposed to be spending with my family. So I lost a lot of years to spend with my family, but I was in jail. And jail is not good at all.
Just your message to hijackers out there. What do you say to them as a former hijacker?
Guys, I know at the moment you'll be thinking that what I'm talking about is because of I'm from jail, or I don't want quick cash as you think it's a quick cash. But what I can tell you is you're not going anywhere. That's not life at all. That's all I can tell them.
Thank you very much for your time, Prati.
Thanks a lot, sir.